What is up? We are here for our weekly anchor message. So from the Wild Unknown Archetypes, we have the Destroyer card, followed by the Shapeshifter, followed by the Maiden. Underneath the Destroyer, we have the Page of Wands. Underneath the Shapeshifter, we have the Hanged Man. And underneath the Maiden, we have King of Pentacles. And underneath everything, we got the Five of Swords paired with the Queen of Pentacles. Actually, this is the feminine King of Pentacles, so she's the highest in the suit. So this is very interesting. So we're in the month of Elul, which is Teshuvah. It's the month that we prepare ourselves to go to our spiritual court date that we have every year, which determines the verdict on what kind of destiny we will have for the coming year, for the year to come. And so the preparations during the month of Elul are self-evaluation and deep consideration of where you missed the mark through the year, or where you would like to go back and do better. Where did you leave light on the table that you could have revealed through your words or through your actions? And where did you shroud your light by revealing more darkness and more negativity? So I'll let you guys listen to the audio at the end of the video, but it's really good. So I hope you stay and listen to the end. But part of that process, the more that we genuinely have a hungry desire to go in and make those changes, the more transformative and miraculous the year to come will be. And this is because we as a soul are dying, crying out, yearning, aching to be close to the Creator again, to have that satisfaction and fulfillment of being in union with the light, with the Creator, with the source of all fulfillment. And we can't do that unless we have vibrational affinity with that energy. And so as a soul coming through our skin filter of ego, it's crying out all the time, this is the path to go, this is the decision to make, this is what you should say in this situation, this is where you need to help this person or say no to that person. The soul is leading you, but it can't get through the noise of the ego until we stop and we take off our self-delusion glasses and we slow down and we face our fears and we listen to the voice within and we turn all the noise off. And so the ego loves to hang on to things, and those grudges are so precious and so sweet, but the more we can let go of any sort of sour feelings or fears or density and negativity, not just sweep it under the rug, but truly face it and defeat it. Face that dragon. See that it's not, free yourself from it, right? When you avoid something, it has control over you. When you face it head on and deal with it, and you take ownership and responsibility proactively with faith, then that thing has no hold over you anymore. And so, part of that crying out, there are, so before I get onto that point, the Shapeshifter with the Hangman card, the Hangman is like a pause in action, a little timeout within the bubble of the greater scheme of things to readjust, to redirect your consciousness and your perception. It's a moment where things seem to be at a standstill, but there's a lot of important spiritual alchemy and transformation and shifts happening on the inside. So we are literally shape-shifting. We are transforming from our old lower self to a higher self. This is a spiritual glow up. This is the opportunity to up level in every area of our life. But what it costs, the cost of entry, is those things that are most precious to our ego, that are the hardest to let go of, right? I was learning about TikTok, and this woman was talking about, this is a mundane detail, but it's a good illustration about how if you just let the thing generate the viral sound for your video, then you're going to get more viral traction. And she says, I know what you're thinking though. I don't like that sound. She's like, stop fighting it. Do you want to be a millionaire? Or do you want to like the sound on your video today? You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's like, do you want a miraculous year, or do you want to feel justified in continuing to be mad at your father? Right? So we take the time out and we look to see, okay, what is my ego revealing to me in those moments of short circuits that I can learn from, that I can say, oh, this right here, this is the key to like unpacking this and finding what is undermining all of my efforts. And so we are returning back to the childlike awe and whimsy of the maiden, but this time around we have more savvy, we have more experience, we have more understanding, we have more discernment. And so I think we will come out of this on top. The reason why we're carrying all this baggage is because the maiden part of ourselves, even if you're male, female, doesn't matter, that naive, vulnerable being traveling through the dark forest of life with all of life's manipulations and predators trying to get your energy and your innocence and your resources, what you can give to it. We get broken down because we get used up and then left, right? In any given situation, it might be professionally, it might have been, each one of us has that feeling, right? I think it's the Song of Songs or somewhere in the Bible that talks about this beautiful woman who represents the soul who has been attacked and mistreated and abused and left wandering the streets, right? And that's all of us. Right. And so there's another passage that talks about how it's like the law that how you approach if a woman is attacked out in a field, if you stone both her and the attacker, or you just stone the attacker. And it's like, well, if the woman tries to cry out for help, then only the attacker gets stoned. And you're like, why would this be a relevant lesson? Right. And what that actually is from a Kabbalistic interpretation is that the soul always represents a woman always represents the soul in scripture, especially when it's talking about a beautiful woman or desirable woman. And the woman who has been attacked, the attacker is the enemy, the opponent, who's always trying to damage that light, that beautiful maiden who's innocent, who is free to express herself and her whimsy and her belief in life and trust the path and take leaps and take chances and shine and not dim herself down. But life has attacked her, has tricked her, and that enemy has attacked, right? And so many times we let life beat us down and we just keep accepting crumbs and we accept that negative behavior or the abuse, or even when it's not coming from the outside and our nervous system is so used to it that we start subtly treating ourselves in that way. And so the soul, it cries out this primal scream. That's that aching that when you hit rock bottom and your heart is just broken open and you feel like your soul's on fire. It's getting to me even talking about it. That is the most powerful way to connect with the light of the Creator and draw down that support when your soul is screaming inside, and no words can do that and no ear can hear that, but you can feel it and you know the truth of it because you felt it before. And the reason why that's the most powerful, more powerful than prayer, more powerful than meditation, is because there's no physicality to it and there's no thought around it. It is formless, it's shapeless, it's boundless, it's primal. It's not tamed or put into a graven image or limited with a word. It is boundless, it is shapeless, it is formless, it is invisible, it is soundless, it does not materialize, it is infinite. And that is more like the Creator than a word even, or even the space of our thoughts. So the closer we come in affinity to the light of the Creator, the more we become like the Creator, the closer we draw to the Creator, and the more protection and fulfillment and transformation and miracles we experience. So do not avoid those feelings when you feel like you're being pulled at by emotional quagmire that we feel like we kind of just got out of. This is not a depression that's going to take you out or take you down, but it's going to set you free. And so, we have the king, the feminine king of pentacles here. It's like, yes, we are figuring out how to build lasting fulfillment and security and long-term value on a solid foundation now. And we're going to come out on this standing on top, right? And even more so, we're not only going to be able to take care of the outer circumstances, but our inner world, our inner light is going to be sustained. We know how to take care of our soul, and we know how to become We know how to become grounded enough and nurtured enough so that we're not like a caged animal, or backed into a corner, or desperate because we're so run down. We feel like our cup runneth over, and then our nurturing magnetism and charisma and that feeling of comfort that other people feel around us, we're going to exude that again. But right now, when we're worn down and we're just feel like it's like dog eat dog world, it's like we can fight to get ahead, but it's like when we do whatever we can and we don't care about the consequences, it leaves us nothing but a shadow of ourselves. And then it attracts that, even just the thoughts of that desperation and like that enemy, that opponent trying to get you to react to your ego and go with your ego's plan. It's like you might have other influences like that around you, making you feel this way too. And this card talks about like you won, but at what cost? Right? So we have to maintain our higher truth, our higher integrity, and look at the big picture. And also too, when you utter prayers, the opponent and the negative angels can hear those prayers too. So they can kind of use them sometimes to confuse you or mislead you, right? So that inner cry, that primal scream, is the most powerful and effective way that can inspire you and promote real change, real transformation. When you feel that gap between fulfillment and that sorrow of being separated from the Creator, you feel like nothing can quench it and nothing is worth that separation again. All right, you guys. So lean into those feelings, really connect with them, let yourself feel them, and that is going to be the fuel that fires this transformation along. All right, you all, stay tuned for the audios coming up, and I will see you tomorrow for our weekly manifestation oracle message. Ciao. And don't forget, we're in the middle of eclipse season, and our eclipse is this week. So take advantage of this time to shed and change and let go and cleanse and purge. All right, ciao. Well, we are full swing into the month of Elul, the month of Teshuvah. This month is all about deep and honest inner reflection and self-inventory. Where is our consciousness? Are we in creator consciousness or destroyer consciousness? Take a gardener, for instance. The gardener has to prune parts of the plant for the sake of the betterment and well-being of the entire plant and big picture. Even though in a literal sense, the cutting away is a destructive act, it is constructive because it is ultimately nurturing goodness, health, and growth. In another instance, consider a doctor who set out to help people, but now saddled with student debt and long hours, feels pressured to recommend procedures and medicines rather than healthier, cost-effective methods because they won't make a commission otherwise. It's all about the consciousness and the motivation of the heart. It's the hidden desire that we are ultimately judged on. This period is a gift to realign with our true and authentic self. The self that desires nothing more than to become more like the light of the Creator, and thereby drawing nearer and nearer until finally reuniting with the Creator. This aching and unnameable desire is the primal scream of the soul. It is more powerful than any prayer we could utter with our words. Follow this call to transform and observe the ego kick and stomp. We are seeing the exact parts of ourselves that undermine our efforts and potential. We have it within us to reveal and sustain lasting light and fulfillment. The foundation is laid. The structure is coming together. We are letting go of the parts of the personality that aren't truly emanating from the authentic soul and spirit. Our childlike spirit and wonder may return wiser and more discerning, free to simply be.